Hi pet lovers, thank you for joining Gina's grooming channel. Today we're going to be talking about recirculating systems for pet grooming. So this is a device that is really cool, and I want to talk about it because it saved me many times in my career in grooming. So let's go ahead and jump in, talk about what it is, the common applications that it's very well used for, and then we're going to jump into the mechanics of how it works, and we're going to talk about the science of how it works. And then I'm going to introduce you to our model, Stevie, who's going to show us how it's actually done in real time. Thanks so much for joining, and let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so what is a recirculating bathing system? Now, this is a little different than a shampoo system, which pre-mixes shampoo and water. It's a little bit of a bigger system, and you can see that used in a salon, kind of like in a big salon environment. This is something that is a smaller device, and we're going to talk about and show you how it works, but in essence, it recirculates shampoo and water in a tub in a smaller environment so you can do a hydro massage with the nozzle, really increase the water pressure, and get the shampoo really deep into the coat. So as we just discussed, what is it used for? Really big, hairy dogs is its best application. So if you've got a dog with a really thick, dense coat, the way that these things are designed, they will shoot shampoo and water deep into that coat. So if you've got a dense coat, especially for a very large dog, this works wonders, comes in very handy. The other application where it comes in really handy is if you're working in an environment with very bad water pressure. So very low water pressure. My first salon had, it was barely a trickle. So this came in really handy. And I do want to mention, even at the start, even though we're going to be recirculating shampoo and water, we always finish the dog with a full rinse with fresh, clean water. Let's get into the basic mechanics of this device. I'll discuss it first, and then we're gonna zoom in and I'll show you an actual demonstration of how it works. So what you have is a device that is going to be sucking up water from the bottom. So we're gonna be putting this into water, and I'm gonna show you how it's done. You have an output hose. So this is where we're gonna be washing our pet, right? Our big, hairy, dense dog. Okay, then you've got another, and now this is an insulated and protected cable that's going to go into basically this box of circuitry. And this box of circuitry has two components, two wires hanging off of it. This one goes into your AC adapter. This is your power. And then something even cooler about that is that this is attached to a pneumatic foot pump. I'm going to show you also how that works. But basically this, by operating this with my foot, I can stop and start this device without having to take my hands off of a pet. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this baby in so we can see how this works. Okay, so of course, because we're working with water and electricity, you have to make sure you follow all of the safety guidelines, make sure that you keep all of the electrical stuff away from the water, but this part goes right into the water. So this is our pump, okay, and I'm gonna place it in the water. And how this works is I have my foot pump, okay, that I'm going to place next to me. And with a little bit of shampoo that I'm going to add to this water, you want to make sure that you have a few centimeters of water in the device. And now we have to be ready for this to start shooting out. So here I'm going to go ahead, click on my foot pedal. That device starts going, and this is how it works. So it's a recycling system in itself, and you can see that the water coming out is soapy because I'm doing that mixture and it's pre-mixing. This saves a lot of time and actually a lot of money on shampoo as well, and incredibly efficient. So now that we see the mechanics of how it works, let's talk a little bit about the science, because there is an obvious question in the room, right? Which is, so you're washing a dog, you're recirculating this water. Aren't you recirculating dirty water all over this dog? That's not how shampoo works. And I'm going to kind of explain it in a little more of a simplified way, but hopefully this will make sense because this is an amazing way to cleanse a pet, especially if you remember to always rinse with fresh, clean water afterwards. So this is how it works, is that your shampoo particle is going to be attracted to the oil particle. That's how it's designed to work. So let's say you have a party and you invite all these shampoo particles to the party, but you need to match them up with all of these oil particles, right? And remember, the oil has dirt stuck on it. So that's basically the process of shampoo, is this attraction. And with a device like this, what you're doing is allowing the shampoo particles to keep being reintroduced to the party and pairing up with oil and dirt molecules. So you're giving a lot more chances of a very clean coat, because every shampoo molecule has much more of a chance to meet an oil molecule, basically hook up, and then rinse away with that fresh rinse. So now that we know what we're dealing with, let me introduce you to Stevie, who is a beautiful ginormo Akita, who is a perfect candidate for this type of a service, to show you how it's done. Okay, so I have set up my recirculating pump on the ground with a towel. I have plugged it in. You see my pneumatic foot pump is there ready for me. And what I have done is prepped a clean tub. That's very important. That tub needs to be completely 100% clean. Everything you put in it has to be clean. And I filled it a few centimeters. Now here's Stevie. Look how gorgeous she is. She is a 100-pound Akita with a really dense coat. She sheds a lot. So we are going to be using this hydro massage recirculating system on her. So I went ahead, started it up. I'm going to show you where I placed the device. You want to place it in the water, a few centimeters deep of water. And if you do have a tilt in your tub, you want to make sure that you put that device in the deepest part. Now here you can see I am starting to shoot this soapy water mixture. And as you're doing this, you're going to be adding more shampoo as necessary to get really, really down to that coat and to introduce that shampoo to all that oil and all that dirt. Let's take a look from the other side. All right, see how deep I'm getting with that? And I'm also giving her a fantastic massage with this warm water. Always remembering that dogs like warm water, not hot water. All right, and you can see all those suds, and that's going to be recirculating back. And there we go, getting that nice and deep into her coat. Again, washing her face and head like we normally do. And here I'm going to show you how we're going to take out the pump. I've turned it off. Shake off the water, put it on the towel, away from any of the cables with power. Okay. And what we're going to do is drain that tub. Remember that I said that we are only going to use this if we're going to rinse off with fresh, clean water. But I am going to take an extra step with Stevie that is not necessary. But I am going to give her another shampoo because her mother brought her in because she was extra stinky. Now, this is kind of more of an OCD, just another pass with shampoo. But let me tell you, because that coat is so clean, this shampooing cycle and the rinse that I'm doing right now goes by really, really fast. So even if you have really low water pressure as you're rinsing off, because of the system and because of that shampoo grabbing that oil so effectively, the rinse comes down to a very quick rinse, very effective. And of course, we towel dry. Look at that beautiful girl. And we're going to go ahead and finish her groom, give her a blow dry, give her a brush. And she came out so clean. Her coat all the way down to the root is cleansed, feels beautiful. She feels great. A lot of that extra coat, because I said that she does like to shed, came out. So that's Stevie, and that's how we do it. So as you can see, Stevie came out really, really clean, amazingly clean. Oh my gosh, her coat felt amazing. So this tool worked great for her, really a great candidate for this type of service and this type of device. Now let's talk about the practical things about this device. Where do you purchase this? It is a little difficult and it is pricey. You will find it, and I'll put links down in the description below at some specialty grooming online retailers, which I'll direct you to. But the fun part about this is, if you really look at the mechanics of this, is that this thing is a sump pump. So if you realize that if you're calling in some folks, if you've got a flood in your house, they're going to be bringing in a device very similar to this that's going to be sucking in the water and either pumping it out right into a bucket or outside into the lawn to go ahead and soak up that water. So you can go ahead and make one of these, a lot more cost effectively than if you went out and bought it. Now, I like the bells and whistles. I like the pneumatic foot pump. I like the controlled output hose. So I went and purchased this, but I purchased this 15 years ago, and this has been through a lot of salons with me and has definitely made the price worth it. But if you are looking to save some pennies, I'll put down some of the sump pumps that I have found that would work in this application, especially some that have a garden hose attachment. So really, you should be able to plug this in, a sump pump, right? Attach a garden hose and have the same effect. So look for that in the description below if you're thinking about making one of these yourself. Well, all right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this discussion of a recirculating system for bathing. This has really helped me through the years. So I wanted you to be aware that it exists and how to use it and how it works. If you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to put them down below. Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you so much for subscribing, and we'll see you soon.